Isn't it beautiful up here?
Yeah.
Don't you think so?
The rating slipped again.
How much?
0.2. You're not going to say anything? You can't say one thing to help me out? Can't you even act as if you care?
But I don't care about the ratings. I care about anything that makes you feel bad, because I really want you to be happy all the time. And when you're not, I always feel like it's my fault, and then that makes me a little crazy.
Why can't I ever say things like that? I'm not crazy about this camp, you know.
Any reason?
Well, that name, for one thing.
It is a silly name.
For a very good reason, Mr. Evers. We felt it would be almost inhuman to teach children Indian crafts in a country where the red man is forced to live in such poverty.
Well, thank you very much for your time. I wonder, could we see David now?
David's counselor will be along in just a moment.
Thank you.
Mr. Evers, I feel that you have a great many prejudices against us. And I feel very frustrated that I can't seem to make contact with you.
It sure is different from the camp he went to last year.
Mr. and Mrs. Evers. I'm Tom, David's counselor.
Hi! Hi!
How are you?
I feel somewhat nervous at having to meet David's parents. I feel aware of wanting to make an impression on you, partly because of ego, partly because I want a good tip. And how are you?
Fine! Fine!
I'll go get David.
What's wrong?
Well, it's just there's something I wanted to tell you when I saw you, and it's sort of tough. I feel real nervous and embarrassed. Okay. What I wanted to say was, I love you two guys a whole lot.
David, I just want you to know that was a really terrific thing to hear you say.
We encourage them to get in touch with their feelings about their parents. The hard part is expressing it.
I'm never sure about tipping. Is that good, what I just gave you?
Sort of average.
That's what I wanted it to be. David, you remember that camp that you went to last summer? Do you ever miss canoeing, stuff like that?
Sometimes.
I'm very glad to hear that.
Well, we're doing something right, thank God.
Incredible, isn't it? We're obviously tremendous parents.
Can I ask you a question about you and me?
Sure.
Are we in trouble?
No, no.
I mean, if we're in trouble, I'd really like to know about it.
We're not in trouble. What's wrong?
I don't know. Sad?
Don't be sad.
Okay, I won't be sad. Boy, that's your whole trouble.
What's my whole trouble?
Forget it.
Want to know what my whole trouble is? What is my whole trouble?
You don't want a wife. You just want somebody to play with.
How can you say that? What person in his right mind would want a sexy playmate when they could have a wife?
Oh,
Everybody knows by now that there's a movement for the liberation of women afoot in the world. And if there hadn't been already, my next guest's book, The Female Eunuch, which I believe is out paperback now, would have started one. Here she is, a terrific lady, a former female eunuch, Germaine Greer.
Would you consider it unromantic if I finish this Sunday?
Slight tongue-in-cheek that women...
you're just doing it because you know it turns me on.
Their undergarments. One
I didn't
tongue in one
say.
cheek.
I didn't
I have a
say
terrific
that they
idea.
should abandon their undergarments. I said.
Why don't we both read chapter 8 of that book you keep buying copies of? And then tomorrow night we could stay home.
And I couldn't think why I was.
What do you think?
I mean,
Chapter
you know,
8?
I mean,
Huh?
there wasn't really any reason.
Well,
And tomorrow.
It was a hot day,
Why?
baby.
Tomorrow's my poker night.
You mean this is what you call happy? You mean this is what you call high? Yesterday I was up, today I'd call that a lie. I mean, wasn't I just beginning? Now how come I'm halfway through? This is what life is all about. I mean, when does the dream start coming true? The grabbing, the grinding, the never finding a permanent place to part with a person you know so well you can show how scared you are of the dark. You mean this is what you call happy? You mean this is what you call free? Well, if this is what you call laughing and crying and living and dying, then this is what I call being me.
Now to the answer behind this week's jackpot puzzle. Let's get back to the second half of our show and our host, Bruce Lockhart. Come on, Mrs. Jolson. Time is almost up.
Mount Rushmore?
Oh, I'm sorry. We
Be
can't
nice.
give you the trip here, but
Be
please
nice.
accept this little handy makeup kit. And thank you so much for being with us.
Blast is my secret. I tell all my neighbors. And since I've used Blast, my whole wash has changed.
I won't insult you with euphemisms, Harry. You're fired.
I don't think you have the authority to fire me, Mel.
Oh, I do, Harry. I most certainly do.
I always thought you did.
Well, you were right.
When they said you head up the creative end, Mel will take care of the business side. I said, but we're both on the same level, aren't we? And they said yes.
That's not exactly true. I've always been on a higher level.
Say it, Mel. You're my boss.
I'm not your boss.
Oh, no, please. You said no euphemism. Just say it. You're my boss.
I was your boss. But since I just fired you, I am not your boss anymore.
Then there's nothing more you can do to me.
Harry. Harry. For heaven's sakes.
You can't break anything in here.
Harry? But we haven't even talked about severance pay.
I'm sorry, Miss Bender isn't in today.
Oh. Oh. She's not in?
Any message?
Oh, no. Oh, no. Just tell her I dropped by to say hi.
There's nothing I can do about it. We're a little behind. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to catch up. Well, I can cancel the order. I'll return your deposit. Whatever you want is fine. But I can't promise when I'll be able to get the order there.
You stinking rat.
Harry, what are you doing here?
You kept all this to yourself, didn't you?
Oh, what?
The fact that you now have 5 whole floors. 5 whole floors.
Well, we got a little busy.
Marvin, tell the truth. You're rich, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
That's why you've been acting funny lately. How'd you do it?
Those zippers?
The zippers made you rich. Zippers!
You were the one who told me how important they were.
I lied! Zippers aren't important. There's no way that zippers could possibly be important.
Harry, I have work to do.
Not only did you get rich, but you were sneaky about it.
Will you please tell me why you're being so...
So what? So vicious? Why am I so vicious? I got fired today. Is that a good enough reason for you?
Harry, let's get out of here.
Zippers. I got a friend that makes a fortune making zippers.